Hey everyone, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy here, and before we get started for this third and final round at the final NT of the 2019 season, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, being part of the coverage here this weekend. This coverage would not be possible if it weren't for the PDGA, along with MVP Disc and Disc Baron. So please go out, support all of them, and make sure you say thank you or give them a high five or give them a hug, whatever you might need to do. But make sure you thank all of them. They're literally the reason that FPO coverage is able to grow and thrive, and we hope that things only continue to get bigger and better. I got to thank Matt and the rest of the crew for making it happen. So let's throw it to the booth, and remember, make sure that you comment, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm giving away an MVP disc for each of the 6 videos put out this weekend. All right, enjoy the show. We'll see you at the end of the tournament.
This is the 2019 Hall of Fame Classic final round. It's the FPO lead card. We're playing at the W.R. Jackson course, the final event of the PDGA National Tour. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Sarah Hokom, here to give you the shot-by-shot action. We're starting at hole 1, par 4, 660 feet. Players can take the left side or the right side off the tee. They'll need to navigate some central trees to get to the basket on some choose-your-own-adventure tight gaps. This one's pretty tough to get the lays. It takes 2 full distance shots.
Weese.
Some of my favorites here.
Yep.
Both Holly and I are on this card, along with Jessica Weese and Paige Pierce. Paige Pierce and I are knotted up at the top. Both of us trying to make moves.
Me and Jess are fighting for 3rd place at this point.
I mean, you never know on a course
You
like this.
never know.
Paige definitely wanted to get a little more Annie on that, or at least a little flatter. Not the way she wanted to start the round.
In our division, I think most of us want to aim for that stump. That is a perfect position to land in for your next shot. Ending up in the rough on the left is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Most of the time on this course, anytime you're off the fairway, you're usually trying to save bogey. Par is almost always out of the question if you're off the fairway.
I believe a course of this caliber requires a lot of course management skills and a lot of maturity from the player, knowing that you can cut down on the distance for the sake of accuracy. Nothing wrong with playing for par.
Last year, the winner came in at +1 overall. So Katrina Allen shot really well and beat everybody by quite a few. And it didn't take a lot of birdies to do so. It was really a lot of pars.
Absolutely. That's a good point, Sarah.
I'm lining up a relay here, trying to get a turn through that tree, and then I'm just hoping that I get a little bit more distance through that central part.
Making it to or past the road is a goal for the second shot, I believe.
Jess with her Valkyrie, got a nice flip on it.
Some of the more powerful players, like Jess, can get down there and possibly will have a look at a birdie.
Paige still has a lot of work to do to save her par here. And that looks really good. But a little deep. She's going to have to make a putt to start her round.
Yeah, she landed at the basket, and then with all that ground play, yeah, left a lot of meat on the bone.
I couldn't believe this shot you just threw. I was like, I mean, she must have meant it to be that perfect.
I was really hoping just to get close enough to the basket to have a no-stress putt.
I've got a couple options here. I could have gone outside. I could have gone right side. The central shot seemed like the most simple. So envy Heiser. Jess with a birdie look. Throwing her Sonic on an Annie.
Wow, a valiant effort from Paige, but that was a really long comeback.
Especially to start your round. It's tough to put those in.
It always feels good for the first putt to go in.
Yeah.
It's like a big stress reliever, you know?
Definitely. And this hole's pretty tough to get. We actually did not see any birdies on this hole on either the third or the second round. First round, Haley King grabbed the birdie, but she was the only birdie in the entire field for the entire tournament. So par is good.
Yeah.
Haley's definitely got the distance to get this one.
She does. Paige starting off with a bogey. She said she grabbed a delicious cup of coffee at the PDGA headquarters. So she's hoping to finish it by hole 2 or 3. Hole 2, I love this hole because it is a possible birdie for our longer throwers. Most of us can at least get a circle 2 putt. We like to take the right gap and for sure make it past the ditch, leaving us with a chance at that elusive birdie on this hole. So let's see if maybe one of us can capture it.
Getting a little turn on my vanish, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Wow. The crowd is pleased.
It's a long putt, but that's about the best I can do here. Jess with her Valkyrie, you'll see her throw that a lot, in the woods especially.
A bit tighter than she wanted, but it's still fine to be over there. Starlight Boss over the ditch.
Paige with a slight hyzer flip up. Giving herself a look at birdie. Paige doing Paige things.
There she goes.
Still a tester. She'll be just outside the circle.
You could hear the sound of frustration from Jess. It just didn't quite shape up like she planned, leaving her with a bit of a long putt.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a chance.
I thought it was going in. Long look. I was feeling good about my jump putt this week, so I was hoping that would go in.
Wow, Paige with the only birdie on the card.
And the only birdie on the day on this hole as well. Second round, nobody got it, but then Kat and I both got it the first round. So another tough hole to get, and par is good.
It is an elusive birdie.
Really is.
Wow, a really nice save from Jess.
She's utilizing her hyzer putt today. She's got a lot of different putting versatility, and I see her switch it up a lot. So it's nice to have that one go in, and we'll see if she can keep making those putts all round.
Par putt with the end of a stud.
Do you feel like a stud?
I did, yes.
You look like a stud.
Ah, thanks, girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
Thank you, Disbaron.
On to hole 3. This is one of the new holes on Jackson as of this 2 years ago. This is our second year playing this hole. The initial shot requires a placement shot to put yourself in line to then turn from right to left down this tight fairway with scattered trees. There's definitely gaps, but they are tight.
Paige choosing a putter off the tee strictly for placement purposes. It's more important to be in the perfect position here than to bite off distance.
Paige didn't like that, but it landed in a really good spot. That's also kind of how I drew it up with my streamlined trace. Just going for distance here. These are off a little bit in the rough.
I'm just doing a Roadrunner hyzer placement shot, hoping to land anywhere in that corner so I can have a nice, easy upshot to make it around the corner and just play this hole for a par. And I believe Paige is going full send to get all the way to the green for a birdie versus me, as I'm strictly playing this hole for par purposes.
Yeah, Paige has access to most of the birdies out here, whereas not all the competitors do. I am also trying to get all the way to the pin here with my relay, hit a tree. There's scattered trees in this fairway, so there's a little bit of a luck factor on whether you're going to get through or not.
Being out of position like Jess is, just slightly off the fairway, really does make it difficult to get a good second shot. As you can see, she was just merely like a foot or so off of the fairway, but it made it really challenging. Giving it one of those half goes, maybe it goes in, maybe it doesn't.
But still kept it close.
Yes. I did not want a long comeback. Again, I'm just trying to go for the safe 4 here. Because as you mentioned earlier, the person that won the tournament last year basically played par the entire weekend.
That definitely came into play with me, my creation and my game plan. Was that, you know, don't need to push it to get birdies as long as I can maintain par.
Oh, that was looking really good. I really like the spin and the speed you've got on that.
Been working on it. Whew.
Wow.
Left herself about a 20-footer, but she almost put that in. Just to save her par after scrambling from deep.
Thank you.
Great, now she used her anti-putt.
Yes, so as you can see, it really pays off to have multiple putts in your bag, so you can be, you know, a chameleon when it comes to your putting style.
That was great focus. That could have very easily left her slightly hyzer or tentative, having that back foot not actually be able to extend the full way. But she made it anyway.
Yes.
Par saves around.
Par for me, I'm feeling really happy about that. I find that hole to be very difficult when I try too hard. So,
Yeah, only two birdies on it the whole tournament. Kat got it the 3rd round and Haley got it the 1st round.
wow. So hole 4, this is my favorite hole on the course. I absolutely love wooded tunnel shots. For me, I want this birdie and I'll settle for nothing less. But the majority of the field, including the MPO, are just happy with a 3, maybe even a 4. I've heard people say this hole gives them a lot of difficulty. Making it even halfway down feels great. So if you can make it all the way to the green, that's almost a victory on its own.
This is not my favorite hole. This is the hole I really work hard to try to get a par. As a sidearm dominant, it's a really tricky line. I didn't get anywhere near it in practice pretty much any time, so scramble life. Jess with a Valkyrie is, again, one of her most trusted disc in these woods.
Star Roadrunner.
Y'all make this look easy.
This is my favorite hole.
I'm scrambling with a theory, trying to get a turn that is perfect for that curve. Throw it a little bit too early. Leave myself a long putt.
I got him. Look at that. Little to no
Save the
change
putt.
required. Incredible.
Paige from just outside the circle.
Wow. Impressive birdie putt from Paige.
Paige with that birdie brings the margin to only 1 stroke, and there's a lot of golf left.
You can't quite tell from this angle, but I'm having to do a straddle putt, which is not my strong suit. So I'm extra pleased that it went in.
Yeah, that's so weird when you have to put your body in a weird position that you're not your normal one, which
Try
even
not
the
to
normal
let those
putt.
thoughts creep into your mind like,
Ugh.
I'm not very good at this.
Sure. Jess
Wow.
with the hyzer putt. She went hyzer putt, Annie putt, hyzer putt.
Exactly.
So she's due for an Annie putt.
Yep.
Next hole.
Make this hole look easy. I've practiced it 3 times. It's the first time I did it.
On to hole 5. It's a very, the tightest hole on the course, and also with distance, 363. A player's going to be tempted to throw a distance driver, but they might choose a fairway driver simply to hit the gap. Oh, Rover.
Sick. Let me get 2 then, right?
Yeah.
Got a little
If I eat
snack
all
break
these, I won't
here.
be able to walk by the end of the round.
Holy cow.
Sausages,
Like some
eggs.
sausage. Later links? Yeah, girl. Thanks for sharing.
Sausage link? Are you in slightly warm still?
They're warm.
In the comments, tell us what your favorite on-course snack is. We're gonna give away a disc to a winner for each 9. So there's 6 discs going out from MVP. Jess with her Valkyrie again. Wow. Best shot I've seen.
Starlight Boss. A bit offline. I'm very pleased with that redirect.
Treesus. I was not happy with that release. But, you can't throw them all perfect.
Paige with a lot to go for here.
Woo.
I mean, she's still got quite a ways to the basket. What an incredible upshot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Throwing the theory on a turnover again, and I again turn it a little early. So I need to do some work on that shot. Oh, hey, from downtown.
Yeah, that feels great. I had made it a little closer in practice, so I was excited to make it that far up there in the tournament.
Ooh, I felt good. That one felt good. I thought I was
Yeah.
going in. Paige saving the par after an early tree kick. That is, it's unlikely to save your par on an early tree kick here. So that's an incredible save.
How many birdies did we have?
Well, today, in this round, on the third round, you and Jess birdied it, as well as Katrina on
Okay.
the chase card. And then the only other birdie the whole weekend was Haley in the first round.
Okay.
So this is definitely playing as one of the more difficult holes.
Thanks, Disc Baron. Hole 6, you can go left or right. Most of us choose the right path. It is more open, I believe, with a higher ceiling, giving you a chance to get a little bit further up there. I believe most of us are playing this for a par, which is a 3. However, I've seen some people go up the left gap and get a birdie. So it is rare, but it's likely. Jess tries the turnover with her Star Vulcan. And as you can see, clipped the tree, but gets a lucky fairway placement kick. I sawed it off a bit early, but landed on the left side, which is way more open than I thought it was. I've never been over there, but
I like the multiple fairways of this course, giving you options. Some of them I call sucker gaps, though. I think this is left side's a little bit of a sucker gap. I'm going to go up the right side with a vanish, trying to get a full flight out of a distance driver.
and I think that says a lot because, you obviously in most shots would choose the left gap, which plays towards your strong suit and the shape of your shot, but you've chosen the opposite. So it is just a really unique hole. I've tried to play it both ways, and I find the most success on the right path.
Me too, for sure. I do think for a righty backhand to actually get all the way up the fairway, it does seem like you would need to throw a distance driver on an anti-turn, an anti-flex, to get the full distance. Because on a straight hyzer, I just don't see anybody really throwing it, the 300 and probably playing 390, 400, but on a hyzer line, that's like throwing 450. Then there's some trees to navigate. Once you even if, I threw one of the better shots I've thrown on this hole, and I'm still have a relatively long 100 feet. And yep, I yank it a little right. I struggle with those patent pendings to really get the angle right.
Me too, Sarah, me too. You probably won't see me do too many of those.
Jess, she's blocked by this tree. She's got some low-hanging vines, so she's going to Annie float this with her Sonic. Tough line.
Got to put a little more height on it to get it to go in. I'm not sure if she was going for more of a layup or more of a putt.
Paige with a long par save. Hole is pretty inaccessible for the women for 2. I'd like to see them give us a slightly different basket or tee pad in the future. There was a birdie on this hole, first round, by up-and-coming superstar Miss Heather Young.
Yes, I witnessed it. I was on her card. She took the left route with a right-hand sidearm, and then she threw it in with a putter
from
up.
like 120 or something like that? 100.
Probably more like, 150 to 200. I'd
Okay,
say.
yeah, so not really a birdie one can count on. Paige, after gaining 2 strokes in 2 holes, and then we both made our par save putts here, we are knotted up at the top after 6 holes. Keeping it interesting. With Paige Pierce on your heels, anything could happen. We've seen her explode in the final rounds.
Thanks, PDGA.
Hole 7, 624 feet. This one is playing down on a hyzer line to a position shot, and then you have another righty hyzer line up, down a valley, then back up to a basket that's on some slope. But we have a little weight here, so.
Is this a new fashion or disc golf trend, or is this where the two mix?
Yes. Fashion meets frisbees.
We found this on the previous fairway and couldn't help ourselves.
Got room in your bag?
For what?
I got your trophies from doubles.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I can hold them till the end too.
This is wrong though, because
I know there was a three-way playoff, and you guys weren't there, so
It says third.
Oh.
Just by
I'm just gonna scratch
by
it.
default.
There was a playoff?
Wow.
It was a three-way tie, and so we did like rock paper scissors.
Okay.
But
You guys got automatic third because you weren't there,
I could get us first place one made.
I gift this to you, Terry.
First place.
You're gonna keep it?
I gift this to you.
Thank you. Do we have a name?
Well, six. Sarah.
Do we have a name?
Three. I got a three.
Did you name
Jess.
it, Holly?
Jessica.
In loving memory. Thanks, Holly. I'll forever cherish
In
it.
memory of the snake.
Four, right? Yeah. Four. And Holly.
I think it really. More sausages.
Before I even started.
One of my favorite things in life is second breakfast, so there's that.
It's pretty humid out,
It is.
and I found myself getting relatively sweaty. So my lovely card mates were fanning me. We were trading fans.
Fanning.
Fannings for sausages.
Star katana around the corner.
And a skip.
Great position.
It's always fun to see the shots afterwards because I don't know what happens. I didn't see the roll, so I wondered how I got so far down there.
Not that far though.
Paige missed it or released just a little bit, but the result was great.
Yeah, a little deeper than you wanted, but still in position to get a par or even a birdie.
My one backhand off the tee. with
Wow, I
a
love your
vanish.
arm speed.
I've been working on it. It feels better than it has in the past. Also a decent roll forward. That will leave her a little blocked though. The hyzer line of the fairway is out of question for me now because I'm pinched on the right side. So I'm going to go up this little tiny gap. And the leg kick helped me miss the tree.
The leg steers always work. Respect the power of the leg steer.
Just going with a roller here.
She put a lot of power on that.
I mean, that could have gone all the way up.
It could have.
Lots of trees.
You know, we've got a lot of footing issues out here with the pine cones and the needles and the leaves. And if you don't clear a little runway for your feet, you will slip. There's no question about it. You're going to slip. So that's why you'll see us just clearing out a little path for our feet because we want, you know, a safe little space to run up and get the best shot that we can.
It's been very dry out here. So what's normally not as much of an issue is definitely an issue this week.
Put her
So
up
close.
shot. Yeah. I normally do a run up here, but with the downward slope, it seemed a bit sketch. So I'm doing just a standstill roadrunner upshot. I've actually never been in that particular position in practice. I wasn't even sure what to throw there, but hey, I'm up there in the zone. I thought for a second that might go in when it was floating up the hill. It had such a beautiful line on it.
And then a favorable hit near the basket where she didn't roll down the hill, just to the side. So leaving her a fairly easy putt. Jess getting a worse kick, leaving her a pretty long putt to try to save her par. I'm trying to throw an uphill anhyzer with my spin, and I don't think that ever moved right. But needless to say, I'll be tapping in a par.
Yeah, simple putt for par.
Just to save her par. Heiser putt in the basket.
And if you've ever played here, or even if you haven't, this is a scary putt. She was like, I would call it a death putt from where she was.
Most definitely. If you miss this putt, it will roll away.
Wow, I was so pleased to get the 3 here. It is such a great feeling.
And now you are knotted up with Jess at 5 over.
I didn't know
So,
that because I don't keep track of the score and I never look at the scoreboard. It's just something that I like to do personally, so I didn't know where I was.
Me too.
Fun fact, I played this tournament for 7 years, never got a 3 here, and this weekend I birdied it all 3 days in a row.
Wow, I never got it, but I'm okay with that because it's usually a possible bogey for me. But you, along with Vanessa Van Dyken and Madison Walker, all got it the 3rd round, along with Lisa Fakis during the 1st round.
Yeah, so that just goes to show, never give up. Hole 8, I love this hole. It is all about placement off the tee. It's fine just to throw straight down instead of trying to turn the corner, but if you want to be a baller, you can get around the corner. The second shot is pure distance, trying to bite off as much as you can, leaving yourself with a simple upshot. Most of us play this for a par 4.
Yes, this actually plays as the hardest hole on the course.
I'm doing a shot with a Star Mirage, hoping that it takes a bit of a turn around the corner, but I would be perfectly okay with just landing straight down in the fairway.
Love, love, love that shot. This is one of the funnest tee shots to watch fly. Just a slow, gentle turn and a precision line.
I should just play courses like this more often. There's no.
Paige does like the wooded holes. Even though the assumption would be she'd like the big open bomber holes.
Right.
I'm throwing a relay here. It stands up a little too much. I didn't put enough hyzer, but
Wow.
hey, the trees giveth and they taketh.
I love it.
Jess with a full 13 speed driver here.
She's got the Star Vulcan. She's coming out full send. She's just hoping to bite off a lot, make it around the corner. It's a very aggressive play.
In other rounds, it has worked out though, so I don't blame her for going for that.
Yeah, she's accurate with it. So
I'm
I would-
pinched with these trees. A little too much turn, but progressing up the fairway, the important stuff. Jess gonna have to scramble here. Leaves her still a little bit off the fairway, but she did progress forward.
I didn't quite commit to that and get it flat as I had intended to, so I'm now off the fairway. It's going to be tough for the next shot. And there's a lot of alleys you can take here. I mean, you could go left and get to the basket. You could go to the right gap and get to the basket. Paige, just like me, sawed it off a bit. It didn't quite go where she intended. But no doubt she could have gotten all the way up there.
And we are showing exactly how hard this hole actually could be.
You know, I think we demonstrated quite well, though, on the drive. You know, we were really good on our drives. It's the second shot we're struggling on. I think our drives were good. But you're right, this hole mentally, when I get to it, I am thinking this is one of the more difficult holes. I'm just trying to play each bit individually. A good drive, don't be greedy. A simple upshot, don't be greedy. And I find when I try to be greedy is when I get in trouble. Paige has really been working on her sidearm chips, her sidearm upshots, and you can tell she's getting very accurate with it.
Yeah, they look great.
I'm having a bit of a tough time deciding because I am so tall, I'm 5'10". I often find low ceilings to be difficult, so I will get on a knee or sit down. I was really questioning what to do there, and you know, I should have just gotten on a knee and not thought about the height of the branch. I missed the par putt, so now I'm hoping to make the bogey come back.
Jess also for a par putt from pretty far. Going Anheuser.
PDGA sighting in the background.
Paige also for her par putt.
Did we have any birdies in our division on this hole, Sarah?
Not in round 3, and not in round 1, but I managed to sneak in a 70-footer in round 2.
Did you? Wow. So the only girl in the entire division for all 3 days to get a birdie.
That feels
Impressive.
That feels special. I find if I really want to get myself even close to the circle on the second shot, I have to throw a really risky shot. So usually I choose to go fairway and just get the par.
Thanks, MVP.
On to hole 9, 618 feet. You have a left lane and a right lane. The left lane is a shorter distance, but it's a tighter gap. The right lane is longer, a little bit more open. And then you have this huge amount of trees to navigate to get access to the green. Paige could be going for a big shot here to get through those gaps, probably the right side, but she chooses putter because she wants to play that left side, the shorter distance. I'm playing the right side. I think it's an easier shot to land off the tee, and then, you know, throwing another shot, and then I'm not even getting anywhere close to a birdie access here.
And that is the most unfortunate scenario on this hole. If you hit early, you can go out of bounds in that creek.
Jess with her Valkyrie, she's been throwing this disc so well. And even though the shot was beautiful, it actually left her pretty blocked in that central location, that central tree location.
I'm utilizing one of the PDGA's newest rules, which gives you the option to move back as far back as you want. You can abandon a throw and re-tee if you want. You always have the option to re-tee regardless at the cost of a penalty stroke. So that's why I was re-teeing again. So I would be throwing 3 from the tee. And, you know, I really am impressed with Paige. We all know she can do a beautiful hyzer up shot, but she's challenging herself, going for a forehand up, knowing it's not her strong suit. And I think it's really great she's, you know, really developing that technique. As I mentioned earlier, her up shots have gotten better, and they're more of the chip up shots I see, and that was like a full powered sidearm. So.
And they're at an Anheuser angle.
And
right?
you know,
So
you
she's
are
gaining angle control.
Yes, exactly. I don't have a lot to work with being pinched up against this tree. I'm just trying to throw this blind shot through a gap.
I literally could not watch you throw that shot because I was so afraid you were going to hurt your hand, and somehow you gave it a little snap with no follow through and managed to get the shot off without breaking your hand.
It is a risky shot, but you know, I wanted to try. Trying to make it up to the green just to save a
That was
5,
a
I
huge.
believe.
That was a huge shot.
Yeah,
What you just did there.
I felt good about it, especially after I just hit first available, you know, and then was OB before that. And you know what's funny? I mentioned earlier I don't ever pay attention to the score, but right before the tee shot, I looked at the scoreboard. I saw that me and Jess were tied. And I thought, you know, I'm a strong player. This isn't going to affect me. And boom, I messed up on my tee shot. So it just goes to show no matter how resilient you think you are. Just the slightest deviation from your game plan, mental or strategical or whatever, can really set you off the path. So if you got a plan, stick with it.
No doubt. Whenever I accidentally glance at the scoreboard, I try to squint my eyes so I can't actually see the numbers.
Good technique, good technique. I'm gonna make a mental note of that one.
Paige, to try to save her par. This is actually the second most difficult hole. So we've gone from 8, we've gone for the most difficult hole, to 9, the second most difficult hole. I mean, the stretch of holes between 8 and 13 are where a lot of bogey strokes are happening. And missing the putts is contagious at this point, and I'm trying to find some immunity here.
These short putts become even more critical when you know you're putting for a triple bogey. You don't want to make it worse, so it's important to take your time.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm always also trying to extra focus on the short putts, not take them for granted.
That's a really good par on this hole 9. We can all hope for a 4. I am so pleased with a 4. Paige with an unfortunate bogey.
And there was a couple birdies the first day. Courtney McCoy and Paige Pierce, and that's our front 9. Paige and I are knotted up. I just took 1 stroke lead, and Jess and Holly are also battling.